I'm Ashley Wright. Thanks, Connie. I'm Ashley Wright. I'm the national chair for the Early Career Development Committee. I'm going to let my vice chairs introduce themselves. I only see a couple of them on at this point. Tim, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey everyone, my name's Tim Waller. I'm based out of New Jersey. I'm the Northeast Vice Chair. And I've been on this committee for a few years now. This is my last year with the committee, but it's been really cool and a great opportunity.
Thank you. Sarah?
I'm Sarah Sharp and I am in Virginia. So I am the vice chair for the Southern region.
Thank you. Amanda?
I'm Amanda Bennett. I'm in Ohio and I'm the vice chair for the North Central region.
And I know Anita is our vice chair for the Western region. I don't think she's going to be able to join us today. She was supposed to, but she's not feeling very well this week, I don't think. I got her auto reply that she's out. She's also in Arizona, which is also where I am. I don't know if I said that. Do you want to have everybody else introduce themselves since there's not very many here?
That'd be good because you have to record where they're from anyways.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be good. Colt, why don't you start?
Sure, my name is Colt Knight. I am from Maine, and I am the Extension Development Council Chair.
You, Gigi.
Hi, I'm Gigi Neal, and I'm from Ohio also.
Thank you. Kelly.
Hi everyone, I'm Kelly Nichols. I'm from Maryland.
And Carly.
Hi, I'm Carly. I'm from Texas.
Carly, did I get everybody? I think I got everybody, right? Cool. So do I have the ability to share my screen, Connie? Can I?
Try it, otherwise I can see. Nope. Okay, let me allow you to. You should have access now.
There it goes. Okay, so this is the committee workshop form, and this is kind of what I want to go through. Make it bigger. Is it big enough to see? Is it okay? Oh, I didn't share it. One more screen. Is it big enough?
Still, there we go. It's big enough for me, but maybe other folks need it bigger.
Better?
That's better, yeah.
Okay. Hopefully this is the right form. I stole this one from my email. This is the annual committee workshop form that we are supposed to fill out, and I just thought it would be good to just go through this, and this will probably inform what our agenda is for today. I'm going to get the names and states off of from Connie when we're done here, so I'm not going to worry about recording that right now. But we need to go through what are our goals for the upcoming year. What is going to be our plan of work for the upcoming year. I've already filled out a couple of things that I know might either are happening or might happen. And then do we have any recommendations for committee involvement in future AMPICs? So let's start with that, with the goals. So this committee is really focused on early career development. So helping not first timers, but like anybody kind of early on in their career, and that's not defined what that is. So I guess it's whatever. So we've been trying to be intentional about picking abstracts, for example, for our oral presentations that really align with that they're not just something that somebody else did, that they really have a purpose in terms of informing how to be a good extension agent that somebody who is very early in their career could learn from. Does anybody have any thoughts on what some goals might be for an upcoming year? Particularly, this could be around anything like a NACAA 365 webinar topic, things to try to have at AMPIC, like putting in for super seminars, increasing the amount of abstracts we get submitted to pick from for AMPIC, like anything like that. I can't stand that I can't see you all. I'm trying to figure that out. There we go. Does anybody have any thoughts?
Do you share a couple of what your goals were for this past year? Just to kind of give them a few ideas.
If I did not fill out the committee report last year. I think somebody else did it on my behalf because if you recall, I was out. So I don't know what we wrote down, to be honest with you.
Tim submitted that. I can see if I
I-
can pull it up.
I did.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can find it in the background here too.
Okay, if
Sorry
somebody can
about
find it,
that.
that'd be great. Because I actually couldn't, I looked in my email too and I didn't find it. This is one from the horticulture committee that apparently they sent it to everybody, and so I snagged it and then cleared their stuff out of it.
Actually, you mentioned maybe one idea was to increase the number of abstracts. How many abstract submissions do you all get? And are there, I don't know if there's any feedback from like the survey at the end of the conference that there could be potential ideas from?
We normally get, let's see, I think we normally get about 12 to 15. 15 would be kind of on the high end. I think we accepted 8 this year. And then as far as the feedback, I actually do not know who I'm sure, I mean, I'm sure I can probably guess who gets that feedback form. But I've never seen anything out of, I'm sure the board gets it, but I'm not on the board, so maybe somebody on the board, Connie or Colt, can help us out.
Just a thought. I'm not involved in any of that background stuff, so I don't know, just an idea of where to get some thoughts.
When you say feedback form, what exactly do you mean, Ashley?
I think we're talking about when people fill out at the end of AMPIC the survey.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that does go to the board. And it gets summarized and broken down.
Okay.
So generally, if there's folks that request things of specific committees, generally it's pitched or kicked back down towards the committees by way of it'll go vice president, then council chairs, then down to committees if it needs to go down to that level.
Okay.
But lately, a lot of the stuff has been more board action or more items that the board needs to look at versus specific committees.
Okay. I mean, for me, at least what I was kind of thinking was, I would like to see if we can be a little bit better and more intentional about trying to drum up business for abstracts, essentially. So I think some people don't know that this committee is one that they can submit an abstract to. It's not necessarily something they're thinking of, right? They're thinking of their programs, and I'm a livestock agent, so I'm going to submit to the animal science about my programs. They may not realize that, hey, I have an agent that's been here a long time and I have this expertise in this thing that can really help a new agent, whether they're livestock or horticulture or whatever. And I don't think people always have that light bulb that they can submit to this committee or should. And so maybe we need to be a little bit more intentional about basically marketing our committee to say, hey, if you're doing something really cool, you should consider submitting to this committee also.
What if we developed like a little one pager? Like, here's how to submit, here's some topics that would fit great in here. That maybe would be an easy way to market.
That's great.
And I just want to share with, I think it was a Sustainable Agriculture Committee. They did a webinar 365 and they highlighted some of their oral abstracts from the previous year, kind of saying, these are some things or what you can submit. And that kind of got the discussion going of, oh, I didn't realize that I was doing stuff that could be submitted in that category or in that area. So it is kind of a little roundtable, I guess, discussion, kind of a little buffet of what could be there for potential ideas.
Yeah, and you know, that's something I had on the plan of work for the upcoming year is, do we want to potentially do a webinar 365? And what would be some suggested topics that we might want to do? And that could definitely be something that we try to tackle from that end. And that doesn't have to be the only thing, but
What if we did a 365, but we did like we call them the Ignite sessions, where you could ask some of the people who presented at AMPIC this year to do like a 5-minute major themes or whatever that they presented, and you could have 3 or 4 of those, and that could help market and get some of the ideas out there for people who maybe weren't able to attend AMPIC.
I like it. I'm just trying to capture everything. Even though I know Connie's actually gonna have it on the recording too, so.
And so I found the report of sorts. It's a little out of formatting. But one of the things that we've talked about before, and I still think it's valuable, is kind of top reasons to go to AMPIC and what you would have liked to have known going to AMPIC your first time. I always use the example of I didn't realize how formal my attire needed to be for certain things. And I was at a thrift store trying to find a suit. But that's one of the things that we had jotted down from last year's report.
Do we want to put that in the goals, or do we want to put that in the plan of work, or what?
Well,
You're thinking on that. I was just gonna say, the board will be releasing a suggested dress code within the next couple of weeks. It's written up. I just don't know when President Jensen plans to send it out to everyone.
Okay. I mean, I still think it's valid for this committee to do stuff around that topic though, because it's not just the dress code that's part of it, but also it's, how do you sign up? What do you need to show up for? Like, what do you need to be prepared for? Like,
Absolutely.
so do we want to suggest that as maybe, I know sometimes this host state does a webinar. We don't want to take away from that. Maybe we could be a part of that webinar. If they're gonna do one, if they're gonna say, you know, hey, this is we're doing this was Montana. Montana does a webinar about, you know, kind of hyping up the conference, and then early curve can kind of spin off of that and take a little bit of time or something. I don't know. I'm gonna put it in this. Go ahead, Tim.
well, it definitely hits at the larger topic in general. I was in another meeting this morning, and that point kind of came up of why go to AMPIC. And I could see that coming up many instances, but in this particular committee in general, this is to me, this has been very helpful being early career coming into something like this. So having it a little bit more elucidated to why going to AMPIC is such a good thing for your early career, I think is valuable. So maybe that's a webinar, maybe that's a 1-pager. I'm not exactly sure. Or maybe that's something that is at a larger context throughout the association in general. Just kind of spitballing that idea.
Well, I've kind of just captured it here under goals, and then we can continue to think about what that might end up looking like. Anything else on this? So I did put in the first timers reception that we are still a part of. This committee basically spends our $1,000 to buy food for that reception. Like appetizer, snacky type stuff. It will be off-site. This year, I cannot remember the name of the place, but I should remember it, but I can't remember.
Hooligans?
What was it?
Is it still Hooligans?
Yes, that was it. Yes. It's gonna be off-site at Hooligans, which is a bar. We will provide all the appetizers for that event. If people want to purchase alcohol on their own, they are more than welcome to do that. And the whole goal of this is to be a very informal type reception of just, hey, you all are first timers. Here's some people that you should know. You should all know each other, and just give them a chance to network and mingle. We're not going to have any sort of formal agenda. We might think about doing an icebreaker type event if we feel it's necessary, but we don't have to do that. Just a little welcoming to get them to know other people that they're going to be running into the entire conference. I know I'll be there. I'm hoping if anybody else
I'll be there.
okay, perfect, Tim. Anybody else on the committee can try to be there, that would be great. If we can steal a few of the other board members, if they are available, that would also be great. I know they're super busy, but just so that they can also kind of know some people in the leadership positions as well, because I think that really helps. Anything else about?
As long as flights and rental cars and all that stuff, I'll be there too.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, I know how a lot of people come in on Sunday, and I know that can be super duper hard. It can be super hard. You never know what you're gonna get with flights and stuff like that, but I'll be there already because I'll be doing the animal science tour, so I actually will get in. I'll fly in on Thursday to Montana, so I'll already be there. Anything else that we need to think about for the plan of work for the upcoming year?
No, I'll just like echo. I really think why should I attend AMPIC is really something that can be done every year with like maybe the host state popping in and giving specifics. I just feel like I've answered that question so many times in my own organization. I don't know about others, but I just think it's valuable every year.
And I've got a presentation on the top 10 reasons why that we did last year, year before. So we don't have to recreate the wheel. We have a starting point.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, I think that's a great idea, actually. Especially if we can hop in with the host state and kind of double dip on that and let them hype up the state and the things that they're gonna see, and then we kind of, hey, this is your opportunities for awards, and if we can do it early in the year before awards are due, I think that would be even better, right? Because then we can say, look, this is your chance, like this is, the deadline is coming up for abstracts and for awards. So we can get
I got
it
a
done.
presentation on that too, because we did it a couple years ago also.
I think I remember that presentation. Yeah, I mean, it could be like a shortened version of it, but just like, look, so just remember this is your opportunity, and it's coming up very quickly. Get
I
your.
think we did that one roughly January.
That's what I was kind of thinking is if we could do it in January, that would be kind of ideal. Once you get past the people before the holidays are too busy thinking about the holidays and they can't think about anything in the new year. And then you get to January, it's like, oh crap, abstracts and stuff are due in March. So I think January would be ideal, give them a lot of time to think about it. I'm just gonna jot that down so I don't forget. Now I have too many questions marks. I can't handle that. Go away. Okay. Anything else? Okay, hearing none, I'm gonna keep going, but feel free to go back if something comes up. Recommendations for committee involvement in future AMPICs. Is there anything that we are not doing currently that we should consider doing or seeing if we can be involved in?
I will say one thing that I wish that we could see is some more interaction between the first timers chair on the host state and our committee. Just just a few more conversations, and maybe I don't know if y'all are having them, Ashley, but maybe just some more conversations about how we could possibly work together and collaborate, and just making sure everybody's having just a hey, what's going on, sort of conversation every once in a while.
Okay, and I have been in contact with him over email quite a bit, that I didn't necessarily always loop the full committee in because I didn't think it was nothing that you guys needed to be in on. But yes, I think that would be valuable. We did have him at one of our meetings.
Yeah.
And I think that was really good. And we should definitely continue to reach out to whoever is the chair of that committee in the host state and have them be a regular part of our meetings, at least aware of what's going on. Okay, and anything else? Okay. Do we have any recommendations for NACAA board action? Anything that needs to be changed? Responsibilities, NACAA policy, current committee duties, anything that's come up as being, it's been a problem or anything like that that we need to address for the board? Okay, I didn't really think there was anything that really came up as far as that they did put us at we are now a 5-person board committee instead of a 4-person committee. We were a 4-person committee. I think that changed last year. Just trying to get us in line with what all the rest of the committee structures are. Some of them were 4 and some of them were 5. So now I think at this point, are we all 5, Connie?
Now all committees are 5.
Perfect. So we have the 4 regional vice chairs and a national chair, instead of 4 regional vice chairs, and one of them serves as the national chair. So, but that's been changed now. So like I said, I can't think of anything that we need to recommend to the board this year. Anybody else have anything burning? Okay. Are there any committee wishes to record or share for the council chair? Anything we need? I mean, more money would be nice, but
Yeah.
I recommend fundraising.
you recommend fundraising? Okay, all right. Is that saying go get your own money?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay. If you think of anything, we can go back, but let's keep going. Budget, we are provided $1,000 from NACAA. Anything else, we do have to fundraise. Basically, we spend it all on awards, meals, function. I am going to be reaching out again. I guess we have a lot of first timers that are coming to the reception, and I just want to make sure that our facility can hold all of us, and that $1,000 will feed everybody in a reasonable amount. I mean, it's right before dinner, so it's just appetizers. It's not that crucial, but I just want to make sure we're all good. But I'm going to reach out to the first timers chair and just make sure, because he was supposed to get me in contact with the venue anyway, and he has not. He must be busy. So I'm just going to remind him of that again, and then also make sure that we're all good to go as far as how many people we have potentially coming. But basically, this is how we spend our $1,000 every year. Is to fund those appetizers. We don't really do anything else with it. And we just literally, I'll just say to them, we have $1,000. Give us food for up to $1,000. And that's it. This is the entire report. Is there any discussion on the budget?
You know, I don't know that obviously we don't have the budget, but maybe something to think about is it might be cool to have I don't know what it would be, but some sort of like cool little giveaway that we could give to the first timers that then they could use while they were there. Other than the bag, I mean, it doesn't have to be anything big, but just something might be cool.
Yeah, so I don't know how many, I don't know if we can get a number of how many, you mean all the first timers?
Or whoever came to the thing on Sunday.
Colt told me how many we had signed up. Is it
130.
like 124 or something, Colt?
He said it's in the chat's 140 now.
Oh, 140 now? Oh my god.
And
Yeah.
that's a week old number. There's probably going to be
Oh my
closer to
gosh.
150 signed up.
Yeah, I can't see the
Or-
chat. Why is the chat? Oh, because I didn't clear. This is why I couldn't see the chat. Average between 112 to 132, and we have 130. Oh, 140. Yeah. Sorry, I had stuff over the chat and I was not watching it. So yeah, I mean that's the only if we did that, we would definitely have to fundraise something for that, or forego buying food. Because at at 100 people, that's a $10 something. That blows
Well, I don't
about.
know that has to be for this year. I mean, we're not that far. We're too close for this year, but maybe
Yeah, for
something
sure.
to think about for the future.
Well, let me go up and just put it. I'm gonna put it in the here.
And Denver is going to be way more expensive than Montana.
Oh, for sure.
I know this isn't typically the way we do things with NACAA, since we offer it for free to our members, but a different association that I belong to, we have like our first timers reception or breakfast or whatever, but there's a charge for that. There's an extension and industry networking event. There's a charge for that. Maybe if there was a small fee, not make it outrageous, but maybe if there was, $10, $5, 15 or something, right? That way you're kind of getting something from folks and have some seed money to help offset some of the food or drink or trinket or whatever.
Right.
I don't
And
know.
Go ahead, Connie.
I was gonna say, I don't know how that would go over with the board. This is just idea, not coming from board. This is just me running
Right.
my mouth apparently, but just a thought.
I mean, it is really nice that once you kind of sign up for AMPIC, unless you are registering a spouse or, needing an extra dinner ticket for a spouse or something like that, everything is totally included and they're not kind of nickel and diming about that, which has been really nice. What I don't know is how many people signed up for the first timers reception, for just as an example, and then go to book their plane tickets and find out they can't get in time and don't tell us they can't come. And that might stop a little bit of that. I don't know. I think it would be something we would definitely have to consider and think about quite a bit. I just put it in here for now. We'll need to fundraise or charge a small fee and we can figure out. There might be a sponsor willing to step up. I don't know. So, okay, but I have captured that in the recommendations for future AMPICs.
So I have a comment, just in general, and it might go to Colt, council chair. But just as an aside, I think it would be good, and maybe I've been delinquent, but it would be really good if all of us within the Extension Development Council across the board, all of us chairs and vice chairs met at some point, just so we know who everybody is within our bracket. Not just the specific committees that we're on. I think that would be a nice thing to, it's another opportunity to know more people that you may not know otherwise. So it's just an idea for.
Yeah, I think we did have one meeting, and I don't know if you were able to make it, Tim. and
Okay,
but it was a while ago.
is it November?
Might have been.
Yeah, okay. All right, so that's what I meant. I knew I might have been delinquent in that, but if that is happening, then that's great.
I think it was in November.
There's also, and I just sent Ashley the link for this and she can distribute it with the vice chairs. There is an Extension Development Council pre-conference meeting on June 12th.
Okay.
Cool.
I will send that out. Actually, that'd be awesome too, because then right before conference, maybe we'll actually remember some of the other people that we might not know already.
Yeah.
Perfect. Anything else? Connie or Colt, have I missed anything that I'm supposed to cover as national chair?
Oh, you haven't missed anything. I would just say if anybody that's online has other ideas or thoughts to just, now's the chance to throw them out. There's no wrong idea, no great idea. They're all worth looking at, pursuing. Maybe they don't work for this year. Maybe they don't work for next year, but maybe it's something that the committee can be thinking about for in the future down the road. So don't be afraid to shout them out here or put them in the chat. Or if you think of something later, go ahead and email Ashley or any of the other members on the committee.
Well, I'm not hearing anybody shouting out. So this is what I wanted to go through and cover. I think we can call this meeting adjourned then.
That's good. I will go ahead and stop the recording.
Awesome. I will stop sharing.